Assalamu alaikum and very good morning to all my dear students of class 11 accountancy. Students, today we are going to discuss the revision part of accountancy because yesterday, as I just shared with you, that teachers are going for Diwali break, vacation I should say, and for next 1 week I think we will have break from online lectures. So students, you are requested, humble request to you, we have the bulk of videos on our channel and playlists are there, so many things are there. So at free time, at convenient time, try to go for the revision of all the chapters, all the topics, so that I think any point which is not clear to you, you can just revise that. Today in this lecture we are going to discuss the revision portion, that means what we have covered till now in accountancy from first day till yesterday. Now students, now revision is not that I am going to do the revision of individual topic right now. I'll just briefly discuss what we have covered till now in accountancy. Students, first we have started with the basic of account. Now basic of account means what? Simple knowledge of accountancy, which we have started with the definition. Definition of account. Now students, definition of account very easy for you people now. Account is an art of recording financial transactions systematically. Students, I repeat again, account is an art of recording financial transactions systematically. This we have already done. Then students, we have discussed the objectives of account. Okay, now students, what are the main objectives of accounts we have discussed? Briefly I will share with you. The main objective of the preparing account is just to know the financial position of the business, economical position of the business. Because no person in this part of the world will do business just for the purpose of social work or maybe just for as a hobby or as a passion. No, every business needs the profit. Students, I told you many times, and you have learned in BS also maybe, that profit is a blood of the business. Suppose our body is there, in that blood is there at every part, and suppose if at any part the blood stops, the circulation of the blood is not there, that part will stop working, will be like a paralyzed. And suppose if in the whole body the circulation of the blood is not there, person may die also. Similarly, in the business, the profit plays the role like a blood. If suppose in the business, profit is there, it will definitely help to pay the expenses of the business, such like electricity bill, telephone bill, salaries of the employees, rent also, and many other things. So profit is required. So in the business, whether actually profit is there or not, we have to just know that, we need to know that, and for that purpose we prepare the accounts. One more thing students, just to compare the results also we prepare the accounts. Students, this year performance of the business with the last year performance, as well as our performance of the business with other business. So to know all these things we have to prepare the accounts. An account is just like a mark sheet of the business. You know students, when you have the mark sheet in your hand, 11th standard, 10th standard, you can compare with other students also, you can compare with your own result of previous years also. So similarly for business also, it's like a mark sheet which is compared with different years as well as with the different business. So for comparison also account is important. Students, to know the efficiency of the employees also the account is important. If your business is doing good, it means the profit is increasing every year. It means your employees are doing a fantastic job. But by chance if your performance is not good, business performance is not good, it means you need to talk with the employees also. Next thing, students, to get the financial help from the business, other businesses, or to get the loan from the bank also, you need the accounts, because without the records nobody will give you the money as a loan purpose. So for these are the different purposes of accountancy, and students, I can say that these are also you can take as an advantages also. So here I would like to say objective and advantages are normally different, but here in these circumstances, this point of view, advantage and objectives you can take same also. Now disadvantage also we have discussed, students. Disadvantage of accountancy, account does not have any disadvantage. The only thing, it depends on the use of the person, how person use that. For example, if any inexperienced person not having the knowledge of account, writing the accounts, then mistakes can be there. So that is one thing. Secondly, if you are not taking care while writing the accounts, you are not taking care means you are careless. While writing the accounts, then accounts may not show the true picture. One more thing, students, account is only considering the numbers. It means profit, loss, income, expense, all this. Account does not focus on other aspects of the business. I mean to say that emotions are there, sentiments are there, feelings of the people are there, but account is not bothering about that. Account only bother about the income or expense, profit or loss of the business. And that is the not only important part. I know profit is important, but in business, other than money, so many other aspects are there which are very important, which account ignores. And as I said, students, account is game of the numbers. So sometimes the owners of the business, just to show the better position of the business in the market, though there may be loss in the business, but somehow they manipulate the numbers and they show the profit also. So this is what there are disadvantages of accountancy. So students, that we have seen, then we have discussed the terminologies, we have discussed what is the meaning of capital, what is the meaning of drawing, asset, liabilities are there, debtors are there, creditors are there, bad debt is there, bad debt reserve is there, bank overdraft is there, then provident fund is there, goodwill is there. So these all the things almost we have discussed when we have conducted, I have conducted the regular lectures. Now students, then we have started cash and credit transaction. Cash and credit transaction means, cash means that when you do the transaction, same time there is an exchange of cash. Cash in the sense cash also and check also, both will be considered as a cash. Even digital payment, online payment is also considered as a cash. So cash transaction, credit transaction means transaction already occurred, but the exchange of money has not been done yet. It will be in future. It is not that it will be not done, it will be done in future. So credit transaction, cash transaction, students, we have discussed. We have seen the rules of cash transaction, we have discussed the rules of credit transaction. Then we have also discussed the difference between cash transaction and credit transaction, students. Cash transactions, generally at the time of transaction cash has been exchanged, whereas in credit transaction at the time of transaction cash has not been exchanged. Second thing, in cash transaction risk is not there, especially for seller. Just because the seller is getting the cash immediately, so risk is not there. In credit transaction the risk is there. In cash transaction bad debt will not occur because money has been exchanged immediately. Whereas in credit transaction chances of bad debt are there. In cash transaction creditors and debtors relationship will not be there because money has been paid immediately. Whereas in credit transaction creditors and debtors relationship occurs just because money has not been paid yet. And normally students, at the time of small transactions, I should say, the cash transaction take place, where there is huge amount of money involved, where I think credit transaction can take place. So this is what we have seen, cash transaction also as well as credit transaction also. Then students, we have discussed twofold effect. Now students, twofold effect means that, as you have discussed, seen that the rules also we have discussed. Twofold effect means every coin has a two sides. So either in accountancy point of view I can say debit may be there, credit may be there. So we have discussed that twofold effect of the transactions. Twofold effect means that we have to keep in mind the rules of account here. Rules of account means three rules of accounts are there. One is the personal account. I write down here rules of account. In that one we have personal account. Then we have real account. And last we have nominal account. Now students, here we have seen the rules. Personal account, debit the receiver, and credit the giver. This is what we have discussed. Then in real account, debit what comes in, and obviously credit what goes out. This is the rule of, these are the rules of real account. And then finally nominal account, debit expenses and losses, as well as credit incomes and profit or gain. So students, on the basis of these rules we give the twofold effect of the transactions. So this we have discussed, this we have also discussed. Then students, we have moved to the very important part then after, that is journal entries. And this is possibly the heart of account. Students, even if you go to the college level or higher studies, this will definitely there at every time in the accountancy. Journal entries. Students, journal entries means what? Okay students, on the basis of twofold effect and on the basis of the rules of account, we do debit and credit of all the economic transactions. Now what is debit and what is credit? That is based on twofold effect and based on these rules. So that we have discussed. Now journal entries are there in which students, you know that date column, particular, LF, debit and credit will be there. So this is what we have discussed, journal entries students. And after journal entry, in journal entries we have discussed trade discount also, cash discount also. In journal entries we have discussed the simple journal entries also, and journal entries with the credit transaction, cash transaction, discounts are there, and more important here when we have discussed the GST also, goods and service tax. So these things we have done students. And last we have taken subsidiary book. I'll write here students, subsidiary books. Now students, subsidiary books we have discussed, last one I should say. In that we have discussed students, I should say second last, sorry. Purchase book we have discussed, sales book we have discussed, purchase return and sales return. But purchase return and sales return we'll discuss in the regular class, because I think more important is purchase book and sales book. Students, we have discussed purchase book and sales book with simple purchase book, simple sales book. Similarly, we have discussed columnar also. In columnar, we have discussed different types of items are there, like TV, fridge and AC, jean shirt and t-shirt, table, sofa and chair, like that. So different items will be there. And expense columnar, purchase book and sales book also we have discussed. Expense columnar in the sense different expenses are there, like wages may be there, like sales tax may be there, like freight may be there, like railway freight I should say will be there, and many other things can be there. Cess may be there. So students, different expenses are also there. On the basis of question you have to prepare these things. So this we have discussed students. And then we have discussed students here in the next chapter, that is cash book. Now students, cash book means the book in which all the types of cash transactions are recorded, as you know that. Now students, in cash book we have discussed simple cash book. Now simple cash book means only one cash column will be there. Then we have discussed students two columnar cash book. In that cash and bank column will be there and cash and discount column will be there. Even bank and discount is also there, but that is not relevant to your syllabus. So cash and bank and cash and discount column will be there. Students, meanwhile we have discussed contra entry also. Now contra entry means two side effect of the one transaction. It will be recorded on receipt side also as well as on payment side also. For example, we deposit the money in the bank or we withdraw the money from the bank for business purpose. So that is contra entry, because one side the money goes down, the balance goes down, on other side the balance goes up, or vice versa. Here balance will goes high and in the bank balance will go down. So because of that, only one transaction will have two effect, that is called contra entries. Then students, lastly we have discussed three columnar cash book, that is cash column will be there, bank column will be there and discount column will be also there. So this is what we have discussed students till now. My humble request, just for knowledge purpose, on one page better you copy these things so that at least you should get an idea that how much we have covered till now in accountants. Now students, this is what we have done. As I said that now for around 1 week or maybe till 22nd of November we'll have the break from online lectures. So whenever we'll meet again and in online lectures, we are waiting for government SOP also for reopening of the school. So we are waiting for that. But in suppose like after this break and we have to start online lectures again, I'll definitely go for depreciation, a very important and a very, I cannot say difficult chapter, but interesting chapter that we are going to take after this break. Hope for the best, keep yourself fit, happy and healthy, and enjoy the break with your family. Thank you very much.